Yes, guys, it's fight week. More drama with this fight of the decade, fight of the ages card. Bits and pieces of drama has happened. As we all know, Josh Padley is now fighting Shakur Stevenson as he is replacing Floyd Schofield, who had to pull out for illness reasons. And now Daniel Dubois has pulled out for illness reasons as well. I'm reading this Sky Sports article and it says Joseph Parker reacts to Daniel Dubois world title fight collapse. He did the right thing. Daniel Dubois had been scheduled to defend his IBF world heavyweight title against Joseph Parker ahead of Artur Beterbiev's light heavyweight rematch against Dimitri Bivol in a Riyadh season event live on Sky Sports box office on Saturday night. Martin Bakole will now replace him. That's Saturday the 22nd of February, which is tomorrow. Joseph Parker found out his fight with Daniel Dubois was at risk on his way to Thursday's press conference. Shortly after the press conference had finished, he had a new opponent. It was a change of circumstances that took place at dizzying speed. Dubois did not attend the press event and it emerged that he had fallen sick. Fighters hadn't even managed to leave the days, which is that low platform which everybody sits on, where all the fighters sit at the press conference. I didn't even know that. I had to find out what that is. And I thought they made a typo, and I thought, what's days? Let me Google it, and it told me that it was a platform, so I understand now. I didn't know that. You learn something new every day. Fighters hadn't even managed to leave the days when it was revealed that Parker would now box dangerous heavyweight Martin Bakole instead, who would fly in at short notice from the Congo for Saturday's heavyweight clash on the Sky Sports box office bill. Parker won't get to challenge for the IBF World Championship held by Dubois, although the WBO Interim Championship will be on the line, making the winner the mandatory challenger for the WBO heavyweight title held by unified champion Alexander Usyk. Parker wasn't bitter at the sudden twist of fate. Speaking to Sky Sports at his final training session at 2 a.m. in Riyadh, Parker commended Dubois for his decision. That man are training at 2 a.m, bro. That's dedication, my guy. He did the sensible thing. If you're sick, don't fight, Parker said. The New Zealander has fought through illness before, losing to Joe Joyce when he was under the weather. That is a choice he regrets. I didn't do the most sensible thing, Parker told Sky Sports. I was sick. The me now, if I'm sick, I won't fight. He did the right thing. There's no point going out there and fighting your heart out and you're not in the right physical shape. Go out there and fight when you're at peak, top shape, top conditioning, and put on your best performance. Put the best foot forward and the one that everyone will remember. Not the one that everyone remembers against Joe Joyce with me being sick. He didn't hesitate to box Bakole, who has a reputation as an avoided man in the division. That was a surprise to me, but I've said before, we'll fight anyone, he reflected on the Bakole offer. Anyone. We've worked so hard. Myself and the team have put in so much hard work and we're here in Saudi Arabia and we're ready to fight. I want to thank Martin for putting his hand up. He's a tough fighter. So, that's how we got here. No title fight. But to be honest with you, this fight with Martin Bakole is just as good a fight. I can't lie. I rate Martin Bakole highly. And if he hasn't let himself go since he last fought in August against Big Baby Anderson, where he weighed 284 pounds, I mean, he's 6'6". 6'6", 284 pounds. That is a big Donny. That was his last fight weight. So if he comes in under 290, I'll be impressed. And I'm going to think that it's going to be a tough, long fight for Joseph Parker. Martin Bakole is an avoided fighter in the division. And I remember when Michael Hunter beat him, 2018, I thought it was a very good win. I don't know what's happened to Michael Hunter since then. He's had ups and downs. He seems like he's been a bit blackballed in the boxing sphere, but who knows. But Martin Bakole, since then, has gone on from strength to strength. I know he's based in Scotland, but he was in Congo at the time that he got this call. And from what I'm seeing, a flight from Congo to Saudi is about 8 hours, maybe a bit less because they're going to have the private jet situation. But with the 2 hour time difference between Congo and Saudi, I don't think jet lag will be a thing, because jet lag comes into play when you've got big time differences and you're going through 2-3 different time zones and such like that. 9 hours ahead, 9 hours behind. That's the times when jet lag really kind of sets in. And even though Martin Bakole was set to have a fight against FA Jagba, that fight wasn't going to be until May. So it's not like I'm believing that he's going to be in some big old training camp getting ready for that fight. But I do believe that with this shift of the Sheikh coming into the sphere and throwing big money around, I believe that all the promoters are supposed to be telling their fighters, listen, you guys, you need to stay ready, because anything can happen with these fights. You've seen guys get pulled out of fights, or fighters having to pull out of fights last minute and all of that. You don't need to stay ready, because you might get the call. So maybe he's been staying ready because his last fight was on a Sheikh's show. It was on one of these Riyadh Seasons cards, on the undercard of Terence Crawford and Madrimov. So you might even know the deal. And I believe that with the likes of Eddie, because Eddie loves to have guys on standby. He has gone through so many fighters, pulling out of fights with his fighters, that he's learned that he needs to have a constant stream of fighters on standby. It's mad because this whole thing strung together in a matter of hours. It's like it was 2 or 3 hours. The timeline was crazy. Shortly after 5 p.m. UK time on Thursday, it was announced that Daniel Dubois was being evaluated by a doctor after falling ill. At 6 p.m, the press conference for Saturday's fight event began with Dubois not in attendance. During the press conference, Joseph Parker confirmed he would definitely fight, whether against Dubois or a new opponent. Dubois' promoter, Frank Warren, refused to rule Dubois out, preferring to wait until Friday for a final decision. Bakole's promoter, Ben Shalom, insisted Martin Bakole was ready to go if Dubois was ruled out, and was negotiating throughout the press conference. Ben Shalom was there because Joshua Buatsi's there to fight Callum Smith, so that he's there anyway. So they're making their negotiations throughout while the press conference is going on. And at 7:30 p.m. that same day, Ring Magazine announced Bakole was the replacement opponent. Shortly after 8 p.m, Ben Shalom told Sky Sports the fight was done. These times, Martin Bakole is scheduled to fight FA Jagba in May. So FA Jagba was like saying, yeah, I got to fight in May. Now he's got to find a new opponent. But Turki Al-Sheikh don't ramp. He's not playing no games. Get the man in now. Who? Pay him now. Stop playing games. Send a private jet now. Get that thing fueled up now and get my man on the plane now. He needs to be here now. Sheikh ain't ramping out here. So he's put that together straight. Same like how we found a replacement for Shakur, straight. And then these guys are getting life-changing money anyway. So everybody's happy. And you still get a good fight anyway. So I still think it's a brilliant, fantastic card. Same way. This is still a brilliant, fantastic fight. Same way. Martin Bakole, heavy-handed, come forward pressure fighter, a bit sluggish, but he has heavy-duty hands. Joseph Parker, even though he was preparing for a pressure fighter, this is a different type of pressure fighter, but he was still preparing for a pressure fighter. But I just think that Martin Bakole has got heavier hands than Daniel Dubois. Is he a better boxer than Daniel Dubois? I'm not too sure about that. We'll see in this fight how it fares, but this is going to be a good fight. Who do I think is going to win this one? Boy, I see it's hard for me to call. This has just been last minute. I haven't even had time to assess what that is actually happened, let alone think about who's going to win. But I'm not going to sit on the fence. I'm just going to say I'm going with Martin Bakole. I'm going Martin Bakole to stop him late. That's what I'm going with. Because man like Joseph Parker is a tough cookie. He can take some shots. He can take hits. I see Zhilei Zhang knock him to the canvas a couple times and he still come back and win that fight. But Martin Bakole is not Zhilei Zhang. And I've seen Martin Bakole gas a bit, but not the way I see Zhilei Zhang gas out in that fight where he couldn't finish the job. Because he did have Joseph Parker where he should have finished him, but he couldn't finish the job because he gassed out. And he allowed Joseph Parker to gather himself, recover, and come back and win the fight. I don't think Martin Bakole will give him that chance. And I think Martin Bakole is on a mission. He wants to be world champion. So that's how I see it. That's what I'm seeing happening. Martin Bakole versus Joseph Parker for this interim belt. Interim is dumb. I don't understand this interim stuff. Because the interim title is only there if the champion is not able to fight. Like he's injured or something. That's when you have an interim champion. This interim stuff in boxing is just another way for these sanctioning bodies to just bleed these fighters dry of their winnings, man. Of their prize money. But that's another story. Joseph Parker versus Martin Bakole. I am seeing Martin Bakole winning by knockout later on in the fight. And I'll see you guys in the next video.